chapter of Boruto was surprisingly good, although it was kind of late getting released. So I don't know what the format's going to be from here on in, because usually it's released on the Thursday or best Friday. Well, we have to wait until Monday, yesterday, till the chapter's released. The fact that it's monthly anyway is going to wear thin on a lot of people. But I have to admit, we're getting deeper into the plot. We find out that Tentou has been kidnapped. We find out the butler was already killed by somebody called Shojoji. Real gruesome ability. Apparently, he was looking to trade a ransom. Tentou for obviously the inmates at the blood prison. So I like how that ties itself up. Now I'm curious why. Is there a certain prisoner that are after, or are they just looking to raise hell? So usually there's a bad news in the blood prison. We saw that in the movies. New Team 7 have a B rank mission given them by Chrono, who's obviously having a hard time keeping the place on track. And obviously Sarada gets excited because she wants to become the Hokage, and she remembers that Gaara was actually taking care of a lot of B rank missions as a genin, so that and he later became the Kazekage. So Sarada's game for this. Mitsuki doesn't say much to it, although he kind of references the fact that Gaara was taking care of business back in the day. So, and then Boruto, obviously he's going to be excited for this. So yeah, it sounds pretty cool. So let's do this. But before they go on that mission, by the way, I think the B rank mission and the fact that the ransom, the kidnapping of Tentou, they're going to be tied up. They're going to be one and the same. I think it just makes sense, which is why Konohamaru didn't really tell much about it. And also, when Boruto was speaking to Sarada, he didn't really specify what the details were. She just knew he had to get on his business. So Boruto's walking around, and he actually figures out that actually the rare card that he wanted was actually stuck into his pocket while he wasn't looking. So I think, in hindsight, I think Tentou did that deliberately, just to make sure that Boruto actually returned it. But I don't know if he knew that Boruto would be there to save his life, because he wasn't sure what's going on, because he got kidnapped. He had a sack over his head. He was like, "What are you doing?" And then it's revealed that his butler's already been killed by Shojoji, and Boruto goes up to the heir of the daimyo, and he actually eavesdrops in the conversation, and he hears about Tentou being kidnapped, and he also makes a dash for it. The next scene we go is to Sarada's household, and she's playing target practice. I guess trying to prepare for the B-Rap mission. But she's doing this while she's not looking. She's got her eyes closed, she's throwing a target, she's hit the bullseye, so that's kind of cool. But a conversation, by the way, when Boruto tells Sarada, "Listen, I can't join with you guys, I got something to take care of first." And Sarada says, you probably can't talk about it, but you know what? Get on your business. Me and Mitsuki can handle this, no problem. So I like the trust between the two. Obviously, there's a connection, there's a bond. So she already knew that Boruto was game to do something else. But while this is going on, I find it ironic that while this conversation is happening, this is taking place while she's in her underwear. Also, it's kind of weird that while she's thinking about Boruto, she's also thinking about Boruto in her underwear. So yeah, take that however you want, but I thought that was kind of interesting. They decided to go this route with Sarada. Obviously, if you see the cover page, a lot different to what she's wearing in the anime and Boruto the movie. So I don't know what's going on there. It's like the animators decided to sexualize Sarada, even though she's 13. So falling for Boruto because you're like, oh, that guy seems to be so cool right now. Shanaru, the speech that Sakura usually gives. So yeah, Boruto comes in, saves the day. Tentou was actually prepared to kill himself with the shuriken, but turns out apparently Shojoji can actually teleport, and he grabbed a hold of Tentou before then. The gruesome details of how this takes its place. It works by devouring a person's brain while he's alive, and he was about to do the same thing to Toten because he was like trying to munch on his head. So that was kind of nasty. Boruto comes in with a blow, saves the day, and that's how the chapter pretty much ends. I'm pretty sure, because it makes no sense if this doesn't tie itself up with a B-Rank mission. I'm pretty sure it's one and the same. So Sarada may actually get some reinforcements, if not go herself. So I won't be surprised. But Boruto has to put in the work to kind of rescue Tentou. So that's kind of how the chapter ends. Relatively quick, despite deciding despite how things worked themselves out. From going from the B-Rap missions to obviously to getting into the main plot right now, and that is the abduction of Tentou, the kidnapping. I wonder why they wanted the ransom for the I guess for the escape of the inmates in the blood prison. I wonder why. So is there a certain prisoner they're looking for, or they're just looking to raise hell? So can't wait to see how that ties itself up. Plus, obviously, the ultimate rare card. I like how when Tentou spawns to the ground, he sees the card of Naruto, and he's instantly reminded of his time throwing shurikens or team practice with Boruto, and that's what triggers him to like get back in the game and actually man up and almost commit suicide. So I like that. Plus, I'm pretty sure the card that Boruto has in his pocket because Tentou actually stuck it in his pocket when he wasn't looking, and that's the reason why he went to eavesdrop, I guess, to return it. I'm pretty sure that card's a Sasuke, so can't wait to see what happens from there. Unfortunately, we got a month to wait now because of the release problems, or because usually it's released on the Thursday, at best Friday, but this was released yesterday, so that's going to be a problem if this keeps up. So can't wait to see what happens next. There's a long time to wait, I know, but we are getting to the main crucial plot of this. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did appreciate that. Comment down below your thoughts about this chapter. And would you prefer now the anime and the manga? I have a funny feeling it's going to be the anime, despite I think it's confirmed now we're heading for the Naruto Gaiden in the anime, and then eventually Boruto, what we got right now in the manga. But it's going to start with a Boruto movie recap. So how do you feel about that? It's going to be interesting because when this happened with Dragon Ball Super, people were pissed. I can honestly say that people were pissed that Resurrection of Every Viral Gods redone, even though certain world building aspects were introduced into the anime that wasn't introduced in the movie. So, but the fact that this happened in the manga too, people still watch the anime despite all that. So I can't wait to see how people react when it comes to Boruto, because I think it's going to be it's going to be a totally different outlook the way people were reacting when it came out in the manga, because people were pissed by chapter 1. So anyway, that's it from me again. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Comment down below your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel for more Boruto. Catch you guys later. Thanks, guys. Bye.